And we found you crawling up the steps of the Vatican, half dead. We knew then that God had sent you to be his left hand of justice, of righteousness, of... Hello. So glad you could make it. I'm just educating young Mr. Kentucky Fudge there in his legacy, his history, where he came from, what he's here for, to save us all from death and depravity, and worse, much worse. Hey folks, how are you all? Hope we're doing well. Yes, this video is about Van Helsing. Yes, not Abraham Van Helsing, as essayed exquisitely by Peter Cushing, but no, Gabriel Van Helsing, as essayed exquisitely by the awesomely chiseled, brutish, good-looking, heroic, swashbuckling, romantic hero, Hugh Jackman. Yes, this would be Stephen Sommers' massive monster mash, throw everything at the camera. How much is too much CG? It's never too much CGI. Throw some more in there. And yeah, I've discussed it before, but the thing is, I showed you, well, you can see it here. This was all the merch that I managed to get and amass from the movie. Because a lot of the merch came out cunningly before the film came out. And although the film is pretty much a clusterfuck of ideas, you cannot deny, the love and the passion that's gone into making it. Stephen Sommers loves the old Universal monster mashes, and he comes up with the goods. He'd done The Mummy, he'd done Mummy Returns, and the returns on that, although box office wise, humongous, but critically it wasn't so good, I didn't think. Enjoyable hokum. And he brought that same kind of dexterity with his big CGI magic wand to Van Helsing. And although I have denounced this film many times, it keeps on coming back to kind of haunt me a little bit. And when I did that video on it, and I've done two videos on Van Helsing, I did one on the awesome track Transylvanian Horses, and then I did a video on this castle and some of the the merch from it, because I've got those big massive 8 foot by 5 foot vinyl banners. Oh, which are truly majestic. I've got standees and cutouts and comics, which I'm going to show you, but loads of stuff, soundtracks, oh god, you name it. But after I did that video on this stuff, a lot of people get to me saying like, you know what, Kilt-Man, I get where you're coming from, but I really enjoy it. Come on, give it stay in court. Well, yeah, and you know what, you're right, and I've got to admire anyone that embraces universal horrors with as much sheer, vigour, and that's my word of the week, by the way, vigour. Check back the last few videos, I've used it several times. But the amount of showmanship and just adoration that Stephen Sommers supplied to what is a really stupid story. The screenplay is woeful. The James Bondian elements are ridiculous. I mean, let's be honest. Let's face some facts here. Okay, Transylvanian horses, they're the fastest in the world. Yeah. Until you get your big fat lardy arse on it, Mr. Van Helsing, because you've got that massive floor-length leather duster trench coat with twirling, circular saw blades, pistols, fucking stakes and silver bullets. You've got that auto crossbow thing. Christ, bloody horse! It's like speeding like one of those fire mares from Krull. It's just gonna be going like good-dunk, good-dunk, good-dunk. Good, with its backbone shaped like a banana, with you sat on it. Gabriel, I think you overdid it with the cannon, So he tried to bring in James Bond and all this swashbuckling stuff, it was a nice idea, but it's a bit fucking too much. And although I love the costume, as I just say, anyone fighting in a floor-length leather trench coat, there's only one guy that can do that, and that guy is Mark Dacascos. You check out the awesome Christoph Gans 17th, 18th century murder, horror, supernatural whodunit with martial arts thrown in. Historical drama, The Brotherhood of the Wolf, Les Pactes des Loups, let's give it its French title. And in their introduction to the movie, the two heroes, Fronsac, Samuel Le Bahan, and Manny, his Native American assistant, played by Mark Dacascos, encountered a bunch of painted up, in disguise, men in disguise as women, thugs out in the rural countryside in a torrential downpour. And in that sequence, Mark Dacascos, expert martial artist and stuntman, and a great actor too, kicks the shit out of these guys. You know, in leather and in heavy rain. Well, they're rain machines, but my God. Anyway, so Hugh Jackman, and let's be honest, in this movie, they spend more time airborne than in all the Avengers movies put together. How many times does his characters swinging round on these things and crashing through windows? By the way, top tip for crashing through windows, because I've done it. Once accidentally and once. But break the window first. Top tip for the day, folks. If you're going to be some kind of hero, this is where I come in. And then you go rappelling, crashing through a window. You're going to slice yourself to ribbons. Just throw something through the window first, like maybe your opponent, chuck them through and then leap through. You'll find far less scratches that way. But anyway, folks, yeah, so I did show you around Castle Dracula and all the figures therein, and you know, lots of the. I couldn't find him last time. Richard Roxburgh as Dracula, the kind of new romantic post-punk Dracula with his crazy hairdo. I can skit it because I am sporting pretty much what Van Helsing sports hair-wise. And there's Velkin, who is the werewolf lycanthropic brother of Kate Beckinsale's Anna. Anna Valeris. Now this thing here, there's a little button here somewhere which makes him, I think, yeah, that's really truly effective, isn't it? He's meant to go what out of his casket. Well, let's have a look at this guy, Richard Roxburgh. I actually like him. He played a really great Sherlock Holmes in a Hound of the Baskervilles adaptation. Look at the hair. Look at these strands coming down here. I do like the natty attire though. I like that. Not Nazi attire, natty attire. And of course we all know what he transforms into, which is this guy here. Whoa, the Hell Beast. Yeah. And the vogue, of course, at the time in CG and monsters was always having great big mouths that went like that, either that way or that way. Really fucking massive, massive mouths, and they would do that in this. We have the werewolf in there on his contraption. I don't know. I forget the point of that, but there you go. The opera singing Frankenstein the monster in his ice block here, and he does pop out of this. We'll do it. We'll have some fun with that. Let's see if it works. Worked. There he is. Oh, why do they chase me? Oh, persecute me. Because you're ugly, mate, that's why. What else have we got? Well, what I couldn't find was, well, it's not that I couldn't find them. I knew they weren't around because my previous dog had eaten them. And that would be, yeah, you guessed it, Van Helsing himself and the gorgeous figure. And it was a good figure of Anna Valerius, played by Kate Beckinsale. However, in this little Bob the Builder, Thomas the Tank Engine bucket, is a little nest of relics. We have the body of Van Helsing. No feet, no shoulders, the back's been torn out of it. The head, the arms, gone. Or are they? Here he is. It's little Mr. Van Helsing. Just a head. And if you want to get a head, get a hat. Here's his hat. Yes, I had to recruit a team of minions to go and search the realm of the mansion, and there he is. It's Van Helsing, you know. Has he got a head for heights? Ooh. And there are sundry body parts in here as well. There is well, I think that's an arm. I think it's meant to be an arm. I think there's a kneecap there. Oh no, he's got his knees. A shoulder blade maybe. But tragically, look at this. Here is Anna Valerius' head as well. And you know, as little 5-inch action figures go, she was really sexy for a lump of plastic. It was great, you know. But the dog had a go at that. Partial scalping, total beheading. Oh dear. But it's not just that. There's another one of Van Helsing's hands and part of his arm there. There's a sleeve and a hand of Anna Valerius. Should be playing some very tragic, morose music. I mean, we have obviously got Alan Silvestri's thunderous powerhouse score for this movie. If you ever do manage to get your hands on the full complete score, wow, it will blow you away. It's playing now, but my God, you're talking almost 2 hours of just thunderclap, incessant bombast. Wow, is it good? Not sure what that is. Mr. Van Helsing, you seem pleased to see me. Another bit of Anna. It is a shame that Anna had 2 swords, 2 sort of sabres, and it was a good figure, it was. That's the Hell Beast, that's just taken a dive there, flown too close to the sun perhaps. But you might remember that when the film came out as well, that they was moderately successful. They did an animated prequel to it, and the prequel was because in the start of Van Helsing, he encounters Robbie Coltrane's voiced Mr. Hyde, as in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and they mention, you know, Van Helsing. He captures him in Notre Dame, and he will destroy him after much swinging about around the cathedral, as you do, you know, and he says to Mr. Hyde, "Missed you in London." Then Mr. Hyde goes, "No," with Robbie Coltrane's thick accent, "No, you bloody didn't. You got me good and proper." And he points to a bullet hole. I've got a little bite. It's summertime, mate, and the mozzies are in full effect. So I got a bite. This is my 3rd one this year, and it's not that bad. That one's going down, but it looks like a fucking bullet hole right now. And but they did, like, because he alludes to "Missed you in London." They brought out this animated prequel, kind of anime style, called The London Assignment. But it only runs for half an hour, but it is voiced by Hugh Jackman. What exactly is that? We have had such wildlife around here lately. I mentioned the mice. Well, bizarrely, I showed you the poison that I purchased to destroy them, and you know what? We haven't seen them since. I did put it down. I put 2 sachets down, but they have seemed to have either got the hint and relocated, or it has got them, but I don't know. I haven't searched for rodent bodies. That's not in my job description. But not only that, a bit like The Mist, Stephen King's The Mist, or the Frank Darabont movie, we've come down the last few mornings and stuck against the windows have been super large snails. You know, but they're on the outside, but so you can see all their bits and doobies hanging there. And you're like, the hell is that? Until you, I can see the shell. And the badge, "I'm a snail." You know, what the fuck? It's like these things are assailing us. Over there, over yonder, I'm in the conservatory now, and over yonder is the biggest spider that I've seen in this country. I've seen bigger spiders in other countries, but I've never seen a spider quite like that one, with one of them abdomen. It's just like that, and you can see this fucker's fangs, good style. You know, even this guy would be mightily impressed. And it's just, God, where's that come from? Has he killed the mice? I'd let him off for that if he did that, but he's big. And I've seen camel spiders, I've seen jumping spiders, I've seen all sorts of spiders. In there, in fact, oh God, South Africa, lifting bales of grain from a silo and putting them onto a truck, and this fucking thing was sat there. But weirdly, you know, I went like that, Jesus Christ, where's my bloody gone? And like, help! No. No, I just went, oh, all right, right. Swung the bag down, I got underneath it, and the spider didn't move. We just fucking threw it on the truck. Oh, fuck that. But in their country, you kind of, well, look, they're meant to be there. When they're here, and they're that big, that's a big no-no. Anyway. The other thing I was going to talk about was, I love these things, the art of books, you know, with all the concept art and the illustrated screenplays. I've got hundreds of these things. And this is a great one as well, like, you know, loads of great detailed pictures and original artwork and special effects behind the scenes stuff. You know, there's some great stuff here. But not only that, I found this, and I completely forgot I had this. This was a Dark Horse Comics one-shot. Van Helsing, what's it called? From Beneath the Rue Morgue. And this is set immediately after his killing of his murder. Van Helsing, you're a murderer! You know, his killing of Mr. Hyde, who of course conveniently transforms into Dr. Jekyll when he lands on the cobbled courtyard outside the Notre Dame. So you killed a normal human being, you know, you're evil! You know, fucking hell, you know, evidence, shit. And there's all posters around Paris. Have you seen this man? And it's just, it's just like a silhouette with a big fucking silly hat on. Well, who's that guy, folks? Fucking hell. No, that's Wolverine. But this, the artwork in this by J. Alexander and the story by Joshua Dysart is very similar to Mike Mignola's Hellboy run, which I'll come on to in a moment. And this story details exactly what happens from the moment after, you know, he's killed Mr. Hyde and has to kind of escape and evade through Paris, wherein he will encounter spectres and ghouls and subterranean weirdness, which has been perpetrated by none other than Dr. Moreau. You know, funny how, you know, you happen to be a monster slayer. Everywhere you go, you're going to bump into these fuckers, monsters, maniacs. You know, you're just drawn to them. You're like a moth. Would you stop falling over? I'm not drinking whiskey. It should be me slumping to the ground. But in fact, look there. Look at that. He's about to crash through a window. Exactly. You see, he makes a habit of doing this. All the shards of glass there. But he will encounter these sort of very Hellboy-like Lovecraftian demons in the sewers, who are one's got the captured heart and soul of a good guy, but he's trapped inside the body of a monster, some kind of reincarnation of an Amazonian toad monster god thing. But it's approached its family, its wife and its child, because it's also a monster. They ran in fear, and then it rekindled its kind of animalistic instincts, so it went for them and killed them. But their spirits are still around as spectres to tell Van Helsing what's happened, and like, we don't blame him, it's not his fault. But the artwork is really good. It's, if you ever looked at Mike Mignola's comic book originals of the Hellboy saga, then you'll appreciate this. And I love the artwork. It's tremendous. I'm going to show you some. Of course I'm going to show you some. Let's get this guy. Let's get the big brutey thing. Where is he? There he is. Oh, it's very simplistic artwork, but it's very highly stylish. The action is really well done, and there's a great likeness to Hugh Jackman as well. And I love little shots like that, sort of gothic over the shoulder, shadowy looks like that. And there's another good one of him lying battered and bruised in the sewer. You can see that? And I like that look as well. Again, the hair bedraggled over the face. It's really good. You know, it's really good. The story's a bit fucking silly, and it is a one shot. I don't know if they ever did do any more of this, but here you are. This is Dr. Moreau speaking now, because he's just like, you're the one who killed my friend, Dr. Jekyll. Well, he wasn't Dr. Jekyll when I killed him. And he, what brought you here? And he says something like that. He says, hand of God. So, hand of God, boring. Look at the work I'm doing here. This is Darwin's evolution, manipulated. God is passé. I scratch at his eye. This cage contains a creature of my own design. In its chest beats the heart of a man. Its body is crafted from the mutated cells of Bufo marinus, an Amazonian toad. See? I'm onto this. I created a living, breathing being from dead and placid cells. And I'm not the only one doing this work. There's another in Transylvania. Van Helsing cuts in. Cut the shit, Dr. Moreau. I'm just here to get pissed and smoke fags. Can you show me to the nearest boozer? This is Gay Paris, Gabriel Van Helsing. On every corner there is a hostelry, a tavern. But anyway, let me show you more of my biochemistry magic. Cut the shit, said Van Helsing, pointing his revolver and getting really, really riled by this strange guy's ramblings. I've killed enough monsters and mutants tonight. Now, I just want to get drunk and shag around. Well, just around the corner, take the top sewer grate there. Off you go. There is the Mademoiselle and the Manitou. A lovely, lovely local hostelry. So, off Van Helsing went, and he ordered a pint of their strongest lager. None of that weak, gassy shit, but a pint of bombastic Transylvanian mead water. 2 hours later, several packets of fags, several whores, and about 19 pints. Van Helsing slumped to the floor and pissed all over the cobbles. His long leather trench coat was now drenched. He began to babble. I'm Van Helsing. I'm the man you're looking for. I've killed monsters. I've killed demons. I am the saviour. Get him out. Get him out. Fucking drunks again. Mad. Yeah, it's a wonderfully written story. No, it is great. I do recommend it, actually. If you like Van Helsing at all, and it shows all the other stuff. There was a Van Helsing novelisation came out. I never got that. Now I want it. There was a Van Helsing game. Fuck that shit, I don't play games. But there was this as well. Look at this. I mentioned Hellboy, didn't I? The crossover event of the year. Sorry, it's reversed in that, so I can't read it. The Goon meets Hellboy. The Goon was a great comic character. Again, Mike Mignola and somebody else who created it. And there was a one-shot crossover between the two of them, which was wonderful. I know, because it's here. I never really got the first couple of issues of The Goon, and to be honest with you, I can't remember what he was really about. What did he do? But in this, which is it is a genuine, proper crossover, and it's a really good story. Mike Mignola wrote the story, and Eric Powell, I think, has done the art. Colours by Dave Stewart. The Goon by Eric Powell, and obviously Mike Mignola's brought Hellboy in, and Hellboy gets a knock on the head by he's in this little apartment, and he finds a comic of the Goon, and then this flying octopus thing comes in on a helicopter, as they do, and obviously he's got a blow to the head, and he wakes up in Goonland, where the Goon and his buddies are all fighting these, what did he call them? The Communist Airborne Mollusk Militia, led by this crazy fucking priest who's trying to bring the zombies back and all. Well, he's brought them back, and there's a pork chop war going on. It is great. The Goon, Hellboy, together, and lots of skull cracking, head knocking, demonic stuff takes place. There's a fucking big spider, almost as big as that bastard over there, who just comes up to say hello, and a talking spider with his big rock hand, the right hand of doom, bang! The fucking spider's like, oh, I came to say hello. Jesus Christ, what's up with you? But yeah, it's all as usual with Hellboy stories, because it is primarily a Hellboy story. Because at the end of it, he gets another knock on the head, and he wakes up. And was it all a dream? You know, this goon stuff, and it's a really clever combination of the two characters. You get what the goon does, you get what the goon's character is, and the sense of humour and the violence. But it works totally well with Hellboy, because the two of them are cut from the same cloth, really. But obviously Hellboy wakes up again, and was it all a fucking dream? Like, but it is sensational stuff. Very, very clever, very witty, and as usual, as I was about to say before, Hellboy always, if you read all the books and that, he falls for these things. People trick him. Spirits, sprites, goblins, any entity weaves him a yarn and suckers him into usually the dark woods somewhere. And then, because they all need him, we need to sacrifice the big red one. And I've heard that so many times before, folks. I'm sick of being nailed up and up-kilted. I'm not. I'll never get tired of it. But he's suckered in because they need him. Because he is he's going to bring about the apocalypse, isn't he? Hellboy's destiny is to do that. And so all these beasties and goblins and stuff want him, and it's great. So yeah, we've seed from Van Helsing to Hellboy and the Goon, and what fun it's been, folks. Listen to that thunderous score. Without a doubt, Hellboy needs some more love. A franchise was going to be born, that was clearly the idea. But Stephen Sommers' style was perhaps too much overkill, especially at that time. And now we've had the entire, Marvel, run, and the expanded universe and DC and all that. And it wouldn't work now either, I don't think. Unless you took it seriously and made it a darker version. I mean, there's monsters aplenty, there's death aplenty in it, but it is done with one eye on the family audience too, so there's nothing too nasty at all. And, that's had its chance now. Let's go darker. If you're going to bring back Van Helsing, and you can do it, The old Hammer comics, the old Hammer House of Horror magazine, which had comic strips in them as well as 8 movie reviews and great behind the scenes stuff for certain movies, Hammer stuff obviously. They did Tales of Van Helsing, where obviously the Peter Cushing style Van Helsing would be vanquishing foes all over the show, like vampires, werewolves, demons, witches, and that kind of idea, that kind of anthology series could work. Now, before anyone goes, Kilt-Man, there's a Van Helsing TV show. Yeah, apparently there is. I've never seen it. Is that what I've just described? Is it? Should I watch it? Is it any good? Because I know it exists, but I don't know anyone that's ever seen it, and no one's ever said to me, "Gotta watch Van Helsing." So, as far as I'm aware, there's 2 seasons. By the way, I only know this because I did a quick little thing before on Tinternet, on Tinternet, that thing, that bedeviled magic, hokum that lives in the ether, in the cloud, And I discovered that there was a TV show. You'd think someone like me would have known that, but no, I didn't. So, is it any good? Please let me know. Should Hugh Jackman return to the role? I don't think he will. No, he's on stage and singing and doing records and stuff like that. No, that ain't gonna happen. So what do you reckon? Are there legs with Van Helsing? Well, even my Van Helsing has legs. Not much else, but he has legs. So, what do we reckon? Folks, this was like another ramshackle, whip crack away tour through some gothic madness and mayhem, courtesy of your irreverent guide and trustee to the terrifying territories that lurk beyond the Tarn, Kilt-Man. So, please folks, be happy, be safe out there. Watch out for CGI, goons, hellboys, monsters, vampires, anything that's got a big fucking mouth. But if they do direct you to a good boozer, then they're okay. Folks, keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. And I am going to see you all. We're both going to see you all later. Got the off buttons far away.